Hi everybody, it's Steph here again, and today what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to fit a sack into this Swan 4240 leverless fountain pen. I've actually shown you on some of the videos how to fit a sack, but on this particular model it's just slightly different, so I thought I'd actually show it to you while I'm restoring the pen. As you can see, the pen's actually been already dismantled, it's all been cleaned. I've actually polished the pen. The pen is basically all ready to assemble. So it's all been cleaned, and what we're going to do, as I say, just show you how to fix the sack on this one. Now, because this particular pen is slightly different, what actually happens, the leverless pen actually has this little knob to the end here, and what we can actually do, if we unscrew it, there you go, you can actually see it a little bit better there. And what actually happens by unscrewing this particular knob here, there's actually a bar inside that moves round as we unscrew the knob. And in effect, what it actually does, the knob actually grips the sack, and well, the best way to describe it, it actually slightly twists it. And then once you actually screw the knob back into place, the sack actually opens up again and draws in the ink into the sack. So a slightly different filling mechanism, if you like. So that's why I thought I'd actually show you how I actually fix the sack on this particular one. Now, this particular sack, it is actually recommended to have one of these, what they term as a neck sack. Now, this obviously is without, and this one is with. The little problem that I've actually got, I mean, I've got this neck sack here, this number 21. Unfortunately, it's actually a little bit too long, and I haven't actually got the shorter version. So what I'm actually going to use today is a number 20. Incidentally, this is actually a number 21, so I'm going one sack's size down, if you like, to this number 20. But again, just to show you the difference in the sacks. Again, this is a neck one, this is without the neck. So what we'll do, we'll take that one to one side. Now, first of all, let's cut the sack. So what I'll actually do, let's move some of these things to one side, and if we can, we'll bring on my little cutting board. Now, again, it's slightly different, this one. So what we actually need is a dowel, if you like. Now, this simply is, if you like, the handle to a toothbrush from my granddaughters. And what we do, first of all, because it's a large size sack, what actually is needed is the sack is needed to be as near to the barrel inside as possible. So what we do, we insert the sack. Now, if we insert it by hand, there's a slight bit of resistance because it's resisting against the bar inside. So what we need to do is get this dowel, and if you like, just simply push it all the way home to the bottom like so. Now, what I'll actually do at this point, I'll just, if you like, just give it, I won't cut it off, I'll just nick it, if you like, so we've got a little marker. So that's lovely. And at this point, again, you'll just have to excuse me because I'm looking over the barrel, over the camera. Now, if I just find that little nick that we did, there it is, and I insert the razor inside. So I'll cut that off there. We'll get rid of the excess that we don't want. Now, at this point, what I simply do is align the pen like so with the feed to the top there, and in effect the way we've actually measured it, it'd be like that. So it'd actually be slightly too long. So what I actually tend to do is move it up slightly like so, and at that point, I'm hoping you can actually see this, I'm going to simply cut it like so. So once it's fitted, in effect it'll be like that. So I'm hoping you can actually see that. Let's get rid of the razor blade. Now, excuse me, at this point we need our trusty little shellac, and what I actually use is my little tweezers here as sack spreaders. Now, you don't really need sack spreaders on this particular one because it's a large sack. Now, I don't know if you can actually see on the nipple there, the sack nipple, there's actually a little ridge to it which helps the sack hold on to the nipple, if you like. But what we'll do, let's coat the whole of the nipple there with shellac. We'll pop that back in there. Take it to one side, and again, because it's quite a large sack, it should be quite easy, says he, to put on. Now, what we need to do, because it's a large sack and it's not actually a neck sack, I suggest giving it a few turns so that all the shellac spreads inside the sack and it adheres well to the sack. Okay, so that's how we actually cut the sack to size. Now, what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, obviously I want that shellac to dry nice and hard, so it doesn't actually come off when we're installing the sack into the pen. So at this point, I'm just actually going to go away for half an hour. We'll leave the camera set up and everything, and we'll just have a little tidy up. And what I'll do, I'll come back once the sack is, or the shellac if you like, is cured, and we'll show you how to put it into the pen. So just for now, I'll just say bye bye for now. Okay, we're back again now. So we've left this for about 30-40 minutes, so it's nice and dry now. So what we're going to do is install it into the barrel. Now, again, at this point, what I like to do is bring out the shellac, and I like to give it a little bead of shellac just where the sack touches the section. Okay, so right, now what we need to do now is we actually push, sorry, no we don't, before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I nearly forgot an important thing there. What we need to do is dust the sack in quite a bit of dusting powder or talcum powder, or be it whatever. Okay, so just blow off any excess dusting powder off there, and again at this point now we can push the sack all the way in, and just to help it along so that there's no creases, we can push the feed all the way home and just give it a little prod with the dowel. Incidentally, I did actually say this is a toothbrush. It's not, it's actually a paintbrush handle. So what we've done there, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually installed the section onto the barrel without the feed or the nib, and that's the way we have to actually do it with this particular model, the as I say, the Swan Leverless fountain pen. Okay, so at this point now what we can actually do is get the nib, if we can pick it up, get the feed, and again just bear with me because I'm looking over the camera. So okay, that looks fine there. So we align the nib and the feed up as best as we can, and at this point now we can actually install the nib into the pen. Okay, that looks excellent actually, considering doing it over the camera. We've just got a little bit of dusting powder there, so we can get rid of that. So there we have it. That's how easy it is to install a sack into a Swan Leverless pen. Incidentally, as I say, this is actually the 4240. This particular one, the pen is from in the region of the sort of 1940s, and the size of the pen from the top of the cap to the end of the barrel here is approximately 130 millimeters. The diameter of the barrel is just a tad over 11 millimeters, so it's quite a wide and chunky pen. And again, you'll notice it's got this lovely sort of cigar or torpedo shape. This particular one, although it's not very clear on the film here or on the video, is actually dark green, which is quite a sought after colour. And as you can see, it comes with gold filled trim. It's got these lovely 3 gold filled cap bands. It's got the gold filled clip to the top there with, I'm hoping you can actually catch it to the top there. It's got the lovely swan logo to the top. So all in all, ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful pen. And if we show you there, you can actually see it's got a lovely clear imprint. As I say, it says Swan's leverless fountain pen, Mabie Todd Co Ltd, and this particular one is made in England. And if we can show you the bottom of the bottom of the barrel there, I'm hoping you can actually just see the model number, which is 4240. Incidentally, the 4240, I believe the 4 actually stands for the model, this one being a leverless pen. The number 2 is actually for the size of the nib, which has the correct nib. This is actually a Swan. It's actually got a Swan number 2 14 carat nib, made by Mabie Todd Co Ltd, and again made in England. So the 2 stands for the nib size, and the 40, I believe, is actually the colour of the pen, which in this particular case is this beautiful dark green colour. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, an absolutely beautiful, fully restored Swan leverless pen. Okay, let's actually show you, let's try and give you a close-up of the nib, and I'm hoping you can actually see that. As I say, it's got this beautiful Swan number 2 nib. To the back we've got the feed there, and I hope you can actually catch it there. It actually has the word Swan to the back of the feed as well. Okay, so what we'll actually do at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I've not actually come that prepared, but what I'll actually do, while we're actually doing the video, let's test the pen. Okay, so this is obviously the first time, and again, what we need to do to fill the pen, unscrew this knob to the end here. That in effect then will actually, if you like, crinkle or screw the sack up, and then when we screw it back on, that point it'll actually spring back into shape, if you like, and draw the ink into the sack. So there we go, and actually as I'm turning it, we can actually see bubbles in the ink. So I've tightened it up, leave it a few seconds. Okay, we'll just get a little tissue, just give it a wipe, and let's have a look now. So what we have is a Swan leverless fountain pen. Actually it writes absolutely lovely. Okay, and this particular one, 42, so I forgot what we actually said. Was it a 40? No, it wasn't a 42. 4240. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's a 4240. As I say, this particular one, it writes, I would say it's actually writing with a medium and with some flex. On the downward stroke there, we can actually see it's actually quite a thick line. So with some pressure, if we actually do the number 8, let's give it a bit of pressure on the downward stroke, and there we have it. And as with some of these pens, if it's of interest, this particular pen will be available. So as I say, the number 2 nib, a lovely writer with quite a bit of flex with it. Well, not quite a bit, it does actually have some flex to it. You can actually see on the downward strokes there, it's actually a thicker line. The strokes across, you can actually gain quite a thin line. So we'll take that away. Let's get the cap here, ladies and gentlemen. Pop the cap back on, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Swan leverless fountain pen in dark green in the regions of the 1940s. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen as much as I've enjoyed restoring it. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, there's plenty more videos on YouTube channel. Don't be shy, go and leave a comment or any suggestions, whatever. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just simply say bye now.